blessed ones of the nations of the world. One more time, this is your brother Dan Moses Osei Osakode of TRC Ghana, coming your way with the continuation of the program Testimony New World Disorder Part 2, being recorded this in the evening of the 5th of May 2021, Wednesday. Akwaba. Humanity, we are continuing with the initial challenges. His Excellency John Akufo has stabbed his own friend, Mr. Nana Addo Jan, in the back. After Nana Addo Jan, when he was in Ghana, has added his life to get him into power as a president. My innocent life, his own friend's son's innocent life, is what he must use to seek his political destiny and his political greed. So, like I was saying, amidst all the life and death situation, they were building false evidence using false witnesses. The general reward has become money, mansions, and cars. You see, it is a big thing if any nation should say that we have a terror suspect or we have arrested a terrorist. And these stakes in Ghana, the diplomatic stake, political, religious stakes of the Akufo's government, as we get along, we will get to know that this Muslim lady, because Mahmoud Baumia is a Muslim, he had to, the willful lie that was made using that Muslim lady, setting Saudi Arabia up. They had to build false evidence to post me as a date. Mahmoud Baumia, the Muslim, is the one that needed to make a fool of Chief Imam Muslim community, that I have committed a crime against their fellow Muslims. So I must be left to be destroyed, to be killed. Meanwhile, he knows that he has sold me out, made a fool of Saudi Arabia, Iran, Islamic body of the nations of the world. We would get to that. I needed to mention it, that we know that. So humanity and the nation are called to the program Testimony New World Disorder. So within the matter of 1 year, my family in Ghana, Auntie Junior, all of us, Auntie Vera, Auntie Mamira, Auntie Mamia. Yeah, this is not information that I should share, but for the sake of it's okay, we should not worry. So God helped me, and I was able to under 1 year, when I was coming to give him, my uncle, the money, the family was saying, oh no, I have not been in US for long, and they didn't even want me to, they wanted me to wait, hold on until I get fully settled. But I know this is he's a family. He is his business money that he has taken to support me, and I have to make sure that if I don't have enough to support his business, what he gave to me, I must bring it back to him to keep his business running. So God help me, I brought the money back. I wasn't able to even add $1 as interest. All I needed is to make sure that I didn't have enough to do that, but God helped me. I was able to. I wanted my uncle to know that I appreciate what he had done for me, and there was no way, as at then, there was no way the challenges that I was going through, later we'll get to, that I could tell them what the US undercover agent with all these crime sticks. Their partner was this undercover agent. Eventually, they had to come put her in church, get married to me, because they needed somebody that, after building their false evidence, they needed her in my life, that as my wife, if she's your wife, you are a terrorist, you might, what your secret I might share with her. So she was selling me out. So Ghana, let's, it's okay. We'll get there. So, I had been sold out by Moses Alobu. I get to US, an individual that a situation of Lord Kofi Ofori that had committed federal crime. He had to push me into his problem. There is an individual that has fallen into a problem of rape, who has made to fled the US. He was Moses, I was also Moses. And they have to pretend they don't know, the FBI, the US Police Service, they have to pretend they don't know whether I am the Moses Alobu, the criminal. They are pretending because they were aiding the political. My own government want this able to be done to me. So they were using they were playing politics with my life, with the political stakes. George W. Bush's administration. So they must play their game very tactically. Put the crimes of Moses Alobu on me. Put the crimes of George Kofi Ofori on me, as though they don't know whether I am the George Kofi Ofori, posing under different date of birth. He was using different date of birth for different documents of driver's license, social security numbers, so that he is a US citizen and possess different other documents too. So he was not very, very greedy. Thought he was cheating the system. And they were piling up crimes upon crimes on me. But God was alive and was with me. Humanity and the nations of the world. It got to a point when I had, in that first, in the year 2000, 2004, around December, thereabout. No, 2005 rather. I had been called on the phone by my uncle, this man, Mr. Emmanuel Bafo. He was the next to my biological father. My father that gave birth, my mother and my father that produced me. This was their brother. He came next after my biological father. Like I lost my biological father when I was a child. So it was Emmanuel Bafo that took over my father's gratuity, my father's property. He was the next of kin. He stole my father's property. He took over the property, my father's money, everything. He fled Ghana to Germany. Eventually, he got to the US. He had taken my father's fortune, blessings, and after my father died, they abandoned my mother and abandoned us. In the year 2005, John Ejekun before their cronies, this man is married to Margaret Bafo, who is a tribes woman of Nana Addo Akufo Addo, a tribes woman. He belongs to Nana Addo Akufo Addo's tribe. They were able to use this man, draw him into their network of building false evidence against me, push him into crime upon crime, so they get me destroyed. Why? Because this man stole my father's property, fled Ghana to Germany, landed in US. For years, over 20 years, he was not coming to Ghana yet because of what he did. There was a problem between him and the rest of his brothers. So he, one time in the year 2005, gave me a call that he had to go to Ghana because my grandmother, his mother died, and he went to the funeral. He met my brother Samuel Sarkodie, the one that came next after me. Ghana, my own biological brother of the same father and mother, had because of his political affiliation, political bond with the NPP, had to give his mind to them. He had been sponsored by my uncle 3 times, wasted over $30,000, come back to Ghana. Out of envy, he had to collude with them, making up false evidence, willful lies, to get his own brother destroyed in a foreign land, get me repatriated back to Ghana. And he was doing that behind his uncle and with the Moses Alobu, the crime network. For years, he has sought my destruction with this man behind me. So that man calls me, tells me he has had my contact from my brother. So he was calling me to let him know that he is in New Jersey and Ghana, Akwaba, Humanity, America, and the Nations of to the program Testimony. You are getting to know that this guy, before upon all the many times that they have literally killed me, destroyed my body, you can see that I have died, and God has brought me back to life over and over again. He had called me at the time that I was still working with George Kofi Ofori's document. One of the reasons why I needed to separate myself from George Kofi Ofori is he was literally setting me up into his problem, that his crimes, that aiding the FBI, the Germantown, Kentucky police, to put me into. They were finding me to destroy me as under the cover of terror. So one of the reasons why I have to separate from myself from him, once I was working at work, what he was doing with the fake documents, he was in the US. When you want to buy property, you don't use physical cash. You want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to buy your household furniture, unless you have the cash and want to pay it out, pay it off. You have to use your social security and your ID and your credit. So that document, because you know it is not his genuine US document, it was a fake. He had used a different date of birth to acquire the document. He was using it to acquire property, renting, buying property here and there, and not paying for them. So at the point I will be at work, the creditors would call me, take me to the office. They are asking, when am I coming to pay for this property? And at a point, the first time they did that, it took me by surprise, because they called me to the office and they were talking about the things I bought. I don't know about it. The things I bought. What are you talking about? I don't know what you are talking about. I haven't bought anything from you. So it was like to the management of the company. If I'm not that person, I'm not the person that bought. It means I'm not that Moses Alobu. I'm not that George Kofi Ofori. It's possible that I'm working with. And on the company file, it is George Kofi Ofori's picture that was on the. So problem upon problem. So, but however, I have to strengthen myself. At a point, they had to They brought in the FBI. Had to, on my way to work one day, had to come and interrogate me. I had been completely hacked. When you fall in such a situation, when they are setting you, they hack your phone, hack your internet, everything. And they knew that this book, Occupy Till I Come, you have seen it several times. The original title was National Treasure. I started working on that book when I was in Ghana before I traveled. So the book has been around for years. The book was based on Jerry John Rawlings' rule and His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings. So they having access to the information in that book had to come. John Akufo had to try to make as though I am an NDC. I had a tie with Jerry John Rawlings. They had to come and interrogate me. What do I know about Jerry John Rawlings? I should tell them. In fact, I had to tell them he was my president. That's all. And I loved him. Ghanaians loved him. I don't have anything else to share. If I have worked with somebody's document, that is no criminal offense that I should go to jail. If for any reason, all they had to do was to repatriate me to my country. Don't find means to put false charges on me, to try to tie me to people, politicians, and just to create impression that I have ties with politicians. They at the point they had to link me to Lucky Dubé, and they had to go kill Lucky Dubé. Ghana, it's okay. Let's go on. So it was during that time that they made Mr. Imado Bafo. They were using him to set me up, to call me to come. It was Christmas of 2005. I should come to him and let the family all sit down and have. In the US, during Christmas and Thanksgiving, families sit together, just like everywhere in Ghana, so families together. He was inviting me for a dinner with his family. I didn't know that the FBI this US undercover agent, they knew her, his wife, his children, they all knew the undercover agent way before they orchestrated and set up marriage to get me destroyed. It was their own person. Ghana. So I left Lexington, Kentucky for New Jersey to for a family Cadillac. Perfect. I wasn't worried about my father's property that he stole and left the country. As at the time my father died, during the days of Jerry John Rawlings, my father was he was a very wealthy man. In those days, if you had 50,000 Ghana cedis in your account, you'll be arrested and prosecuted for having 50 Ghana cedis. Before that, my father has as much as 4,000 Ghana cedis was his gratuity, worth today several millions of dollars. If you were owed 50,000 and you go to jail, and my father had 4,000 Ghana as his gratuity from Ghana Port and Harbour authorities. My father was not, God blessed him, and this man took the money. He invited me to his home, Christmas dinner. We need to get understanding to some of these things, that we know that I was sold. Bible says a man's enemies shall be those of his own household. This is a typical Bible fulfilling. After the family dinner, he made his children go to hide in the. These are elder. This is one, Peggy Bafo, Yao Jan. As at the time, Yao Jan was having his master's program. The elder was Ya Bafo. So they were grown people. So after dinner, this man enters the bedroom enters his room. He comes back. I was sitting in the living room. He comes back, bring a document, telling me that he knows that by now I've been told that he took over my father's money and fled the country. But this is his evidence to tell me that on a document to tell me that the money that he fled the country, my father's money, he paid it back to Mr. Nana Edubofo Jan, whom they finally their crimes have killed. Nana John Edubofo, Nana Edubofo, they have killed him in secret. He paid the money back to my father. Nana Edubofo Jan, my biological father, came next after Nana Edubofo Jan, and this man came next after. So the three of them, Nana Edubofo Jan was the elder. My father came next, and then this man. This man was using a fake document, a document that proved that there were 4 signatories, 4 people who signed for the 4,000 gratuity to receive from the Ghana Port Harbour Authority, and he was using that document to tell me that that is the proof that he paid the money back to. But that document was just saying that these 4 people, including him, Nana Edubofo Jan, and one of their 2 other brothers of theirs, they signed and took the money. So when they received the money, and the money came to him as he being the next of kin, he took the money and bolted to Germany, and then from there to US. He was using that document to fool me. He thought he's lived in the US for years. So Ghanaian, we are stupid, as he knows. He's married to he's married to Akufo. He's married to Anachim. So now he has become very wise, and he's American citizen. So Ghanaian, I'm stupid. I'm a Bron, so Bron me kwasia. He gave me that dog. After that episode, that I got to know. So his purpose of inviting me was not just for the Christmas dinner. It was just to sell me out. The Akufo's administration, the FBI, they were all playing their games. They were putting me in the crimes of Moses Alobu, George Kofi Ofori, Moses Ofori, piling, and they were using him to aid that crime. Eventually, I left his place for back to Kentucky. I didn't stay that long. I went back, and the crime net, the same FBI, they were able to come up with a ploy that the U.S. government is offering document to amnesty to individuals that have lived in the country for long. So, but everybody is going to, every immigrant is going for it, and they are applying. They're using this man to set me up, together with the same Joseph Kofi Eshen, and one Frank Ankoma I met at the Winneba Secondary School. We were just like brothers at Winneba Secondary School. We were keeping our food together. We were doing everything. Frank was everybody that was in Winneba. We were brothers. We were roommates, and because of money, mansions and cars. Go see the mansion that Frank Ankoma came to build for the wife in Ghana. In US, he received his house. He received his cars, just like all the. You see, before the announcements of claiming that my family benefited, and therefore they killing my family members, way back before 2000 and before they set up my family members, they have the general reward has been money, mansions and cars, and those in US, they have received their money, mansions and cars. The collapse of the collapse of the US housing market. The truth is known to this US undercover agent. People were receiving free houses to brand an innocent, to make false evidence against an innocent Ghanaian. We were getting free cars to hold, to find me, to declare me a terrorist. on a ticket for George W. Bush. So humanity and the nations of the world. This man, Frank Ankuma, who was then living at New York, Bronx, New York, with Joseph Kofi Eshen in Atlanta, Georgia. The FBI, with the political sticks, then Addo John Akufo, the U.S. Embassy in Ghana, they were all playing there. They have hugged me. They were networking together, got them to get me into an amnesty program. All they needed was to get my biometrics. If you want to, before you can get your documents in US, they will have to take your fingerprints. They have built so much false evidence, put crimes upon crimes on me, and they had to, what they needed to do next was to get my fingerprint in the government data system. That will make it easier for them to track me everywhere in the US and everywhere in the world with the CIA web. So my own father, Frank Ankuma, Joseph Kofi Eshen, they all had to tell me they have, my uncle, he was a citizen of US. He had to willfully setting me up in that document. I entered, I got to know that it's through a lawyer. I got to know that it was a setup. It was not for everybody. It was for those that have been there in the country for over 50 years, and it was a specific group of people. So I entered, and I got to know that it was a setup. And this man had to, no problem. He has a friend. His friend is a lawyer. He has a notary republic. He will make a notary on my affidavit on my behalf, as the program was requiring, and testify that my father was living in the US. So long time with me before my father came to Ghana and left me as his caretaker, and as his brother is caretaker. So he knows me to be somebody that had been there. It was affidavit, legal document that he was lying. He received from me 250 Ghana with his friend. They took that money and created another problem for me before the US government. So, and eventually what they did was, they made the Frank Ankuma tell me that he has also entered into that program. George Kofi Eshentu has entered into that program. But when they set me up, the USCI gave me an interview, gave me an appointment, took my biometrics. All those people, George Kofi, Joseph Eshen, so-called pastor, Atlanta, Georgia, Frank Ankuma, my own classmate, Winneba Secondary School, they all were made to withdraw from the program. Under immigration, if you make any application and you withdraw, you are okay. But if you don't withdraw and they discover that it was a false application, you could be deported. So they withdrew secretly, and I didn't know that they have withdrawn until later when I've been called for an interview. Later that they send me my work. They send me my work authorization. Send me my social security. That I got to know that the program was a fiasco program. So I was denied. My application was denied. That was a strategy of what they wanted from me was to get my biometrics. They have gotten my fingerprint to aid them to put me in the government database, to heap up crimes upon crimes, use false witnesses, use them as unnamed witnesses. They cannot be named. These are intelligent report on me that I am Moses Alovu. I am posing as George Kofi Ofori, I have committed a rape against a minor. At the same time, they were building the same intelligence report. John Cook was using the innocent Muslim, that I committed a crime against her in Ghana, and I've gone to the US commit the same crime there. So they were false report. They needed to present it as dangerous, a criminal, and get me killed at all costs. Ghana, Akufo to the program Testimony, New World Disorder. All these were preparing the way for the US undercover agent to be slipped in through a church, which was run by which church? This lady's pastor. The pastor was a long-time family friend to Mr. Emmanuel Bafo. When they were in Ghana, the so-called pastor, Kenneth Tedeku, he was a member of Archbishop Duncan Williams' church when he was in Ghana. So Archbishop Duncan Williams knows that his church was tied to. So when the guy went to US, he established that church with a congregation of maximum of 10 people on Sunday, including this undercover agent. They just a corner store church, you understand, fiasco church, use it to set me up into a marriage with this undercover agent. But this man, we will get Frank Ankuma, Joseph Kofi, Moses Alobu in Ghana playing his part, Paul Ambene playing his part, preachers in Ghana and their cronies in US play their game. We will get there. But the good news is God spared my life. I still live to tell the story of God, the story of the Lord, that you would not die but live to declare the works of the Lord. Let's go to what you do. Let's go to what you do. God bless you. And God bless my homeland, Ghana. Bye-bye. We'll continue.